Taiwan, a beautiful island, sits quietly in the Pacific Ocean. It has a mild climate, lush mountains, and wilderness. Long before the Republic of China, Japanese colonization, even the Qing dynasty, indigenous people were living in Taiwan for over 6,000 years, whose population is around 2.38 of the Taiwan's total. And there are 16 officially recognized tribes. They live around the Central Mountain Range, in the East Rift Valley, or the East Coastal area, and each has their native language and culture. Taboos in Taiwanese indigenous mythology and oral literature are originated from the visions happening in ancestors' lives. In the awe of nature or the fear of spirits, taboo plays a role of unseen restriction and religious prohibition within indigenous society. The taboos derived from myth and legend has been passed on from generation to generation to shape the principle of behavior as well as cultural characteristic. They are embodied in tangible material culture and intangible culture rituals, constructing the sacred order between heaven, earth, and human. Home of flying fish, black-winged flying fish and island of man. The Curicao Current, as known as black tide, between February to March brings the rich amount of migratory flying fish to the north, signaling the start of fishing season for the Tao people, the indigenous peoples of the island of Man, an island called Lanyu at Taiwan. The Tao annually held Mivenua, a ceremony in which they launched a big boat for 10 people out to sea to announce the beginning of the Flying Fish Festival, which would last through September. During this period, law-like taboo demonstrated the controlling power to regulate the Tao people's external behavior and internal thoughts. Do not catch any fish species other than flying fish. Do not catch stream on rock reef at night. Do not cross others' house corridors in certain dates. Fishing on others' boats are prohibited. Women can't touch men's fishing gears. Pregnant women can't visit friends. These laws and prohibitions of food, clothing, housing, and transportation are based on the myth in between Tao ancestors and flying fish. One day, a group of Tao people went to the coast for shellfish and shrimp. Suddenly 2 fish with wings hidden in the gap of reef rock were found. These people successfully caught one, but the other fish jumped out of the gap, flying to the ocean. Showing around this fish with wing happily, they cooked it with shrimp and shellfish and shared the meal with villagers. A few days after, the villagers either had skin ulcer or went ill incurably. Meanwhile, flying fish were suffering fatal disease problem. Black Wing, the flying fish leader, recruited other species of flying fish to discuss what caused plague. The leader eventually found out the reason, while the runaway one said that the human on the island cooked them with crustacean. Black Wing appeared in an old man's dream, asking him to meet up with other fish beside the rock reef next morning after breakfast. The leader introduced various edible methods and associated restrictions of different fish such as which ones are for elders and which ones are for children. Black-winged flying fish. The noble in flying fish species, due to the rarity, can't be grilled by fire and can only be net fished by fire in the evening and boat fished in the daytime. Red-winged flying fish, which are the largest amount in the species, can only be fished by livestock blood sacrifice. White-winged species can be net fished by fire at night and cannot be boat fished in the daytime. Grilled flying fish cannot be eaten by pregnant women. Smaller size kakalo are for suitable children and don't need to be sun-dried. Lock-locked, bait for dolphin fish, can be eaten by elders but not children. Sanishi are also bait for dolphin fish but can't be human food. This handed-down edible method from generation to generation are now categorized into fish for men, fish for women, and fish for elders. Indeed, the mythological Blackwing also precisely notified the ancestral Tao the monthly must do routines, rules, rituals, taboo, fish boat organizing, fish gear and boat fishing, and how to guideline for ceremonial offerings, such as taro millet and livestock. What continued in this myth was that the ancestral Tao people followed all of Blackwing's leaders' guidelines and held the first praying rituals next year. These major foundations of Tao's social life is the typical methodology, supported taboo system, and also the sample of a people's sacred order.